around you, right close to you. Brother, sister, mother, don't matter. We picked you. We'll take this one. And this one here gonna do well enough to take care of the whole family. You know, and but once you start thinking it's you, leaving God out of the equation, oh, that's the wrong. That's crazy. And so, but what make a person think they can't be cool, suave, have the swagger, but put God up front, man? You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't have, you ain't no square. People, you know, they say God, they get, you know, you ain't no square because you say that. You calling on the man who got all the damn power.
By the time the Delfonics took the harmonies of doo-wop, the dynamic lead vocals of rhythm and blues, and surrounded them with lush string arrangements and timpanis, they had created a whole new sound, the sound of Philadelphia. From that moment on, music and love songs would never be the same.
I grew up in West Philadelphia. I was a little chubby, and my father had a friend that he really, you know, liked because Bougie was always working. I was always out shining shoes. So I shined shoes, I made shoe shine boxes, I made scooters in the neighborhood for some of the guys. You know, they usually couldn't afford them scooters, but we used to get the skate wheels and the milk crates. You understand? And I was good at doing that. So I used to do all that type of stuff. And, you know, just a creative young man, I guess. That was Poogie. It was a candy factory that we could all walk down there and watch them guys make that candy. Look down in the window, you know, and they making that candy, the big thing, whipping it, grabbing it. Did all the pieces that weren't perfect, they stick them up to the window to us, the guys, you know, because they weren't supposed to do it. And some of them throw it up against things so the break, pop out, we pick it up. Big old, remember them candy canes? Big thick ones? I mean, but they was out of shape, but they were fresh from the door. So I'm telling you, man, we got all the candy. We had more candy than we could handle. And guys was really, you know, the workers there, they were really nice. I never will forget that. See, little things like that, you know, shapes your life. You know, you say, wow, these guys are reaching up, seeing that we need something, knowing that we poor, because they knew where they were working at, you know? And we just sit out there and look at the window. Got pop. Hand it, stick it out the window, take it out saying, big old piece of candy, big damn piece of candy like you never see at the store.
From the earliest memories he had as a boy, William Poogie Hart knew he was going places. He didn't quite know where it was he was headed or how to get there yet, but he was determined to make a name for himself in his neighborhood and around the world.
Because my mother didn't want me to be up here on the East Coast, right? She'd rather I be down south with better education. They didn't have no bad classrooms down south. So my mother sent me down south to finish my schooling. I was the only one of her children that did that. And I ended up at Carver, you know, 600 Center Avenue, you know, Newport News, Virginia. That's where I lived, man, and enjoyed myself with picking tobacco and all these things. I learned a lot of things down there. And I really didn't feel like displaced. Notice when nobody ever asked me back, didn't you feel like displaced away from your family every winter? Because during the winter times when everybody had to go to school, I went to school. down south with my cousins who had me out there on the James River. You hear what I'm saying? And we fishing for croakers. And the James River with a high tide coming, it was like crazy because we would swim in it, and scare the people around us. You gonna dive in the ocean? The high tide being, don't be no more about like 6, 7 feet. I go way down. Like my brothers will come to visit me in the summertime, right? Because I had it laid out, man. We had the lake out there and we had fun. But that's, two different scenarios altogether. The first time I heard a group sing, I think I was in middle school, Carver, junior high we would call it. Up here they call it middle school. But I was so impressed, man. I heard these guys, man, blending like that. A group from down south. Of course, when I came back up north, my brothers, my older brothers, would be in the hallway singing, making all kinds of harmony. But anyway, when I left from down there, I made it clear to them. I said, when y'all see me again, I'm going to be a famous singer. And I left it that way. As soon as I can swear, as soon as I got famous, man, all three of us, me, Robert, and Randy, I said, we got to go speak because we were working Hampton University at night. So we had 3 different limousines. And I went back to the house because we didn't live far from Hampton University. We could walk to my house from there. But we got in the limousines all 3 of them. I said, I got to do this, I have to do this. And sure enough, they was all home. Kermit, Melvin, Kenny, Eugene, everybody's home. My aunt, Leona. I ain't forget none of it, man. It's like, wow, it's been like wow. That somewhere like maybe 69.
I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna bind you and keep you happy. And ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. I love you and make you love me.
It was evident William had high expectations for himself, but he wasn't the only one. His mother was willing to send William away from the familiar environs of West Philadelphia to ensure he'd get the kind of education that would build a foundation for the kind of dreams they both had for his life.
The Delaware River Bridge. When night fell, we started singing. We would use the echo underneath the bridge, to give you that, wow, this is what I would sound like. And it was a beautiful sound under there. I really need to go record a song under the Delaware River Bridge. Right. How me, P. Boy, and Freddie, if they listen to hear, they say, what? I thought nobody ever mentioned my name. Me, P. Boy, Freddie, and Cornelius, and Edward. We used to rob them doggone trucks for the neighborhood. So we come down the back of the hill, and them trucks, they had to drive real slow to go down to the wharf. Because I lived at Second and New. All of us was a gang of us in the Second and New. And the parents couldn't wait till all of us came together. They would tell us, the trucks is coming. So the trucks turned off that Delaware Bridge, come down there real slow. We jump all on them trucks. Because the trucks is going 5 miles an hour because they got all that fruit and vegetable. So we dumping it all out. The driver cussing us out. We didn't care. We dumping out. The whole neighborhood got bags and stuff. They're grabbing the corn, the peaches, the tomato, even the busted one, because they knew they was right. They grabbing everything, And we would do that every single time when them trucks come down there. Good sweet peaches. I'll never forget. Me and my gang used to go and dump all the tomatoes and peaches and everything and green peppers and carrots. I mean, empty the trucks if we could. You know what I mean? And the whole families was out there. I'm telling you, that them and their kids and everybody were bags because they know what we done when them trucks came down. I really, it was part of my life that I really enjoyed. Although what we were doing, we were like, I guess Robin Hoods, making sure everybody in the neighborhood ate.
Having his imagination sparked by the harmonies he heard at Carver High School in Newport News, Virginia, the Delaware River Bridge would give William Hart, his brother, and a group of friends an even more tantalizing glimpse into the sounds he'd soon be sharing with the world, with a little mischief added on for good measure.
When we were little, we used to play cowboys. You know, you have a crew of your own. Next guy, he got a crew of his own. And before you know it, the groups start popping up in the neighborhood. So you had this challenging mentality growing in the community. So you got a group, we got a group down here, we got a group down here. They heard about me up in West Philly. So I went down to, of course, Haddington Recreation Center, where they did talent shows. I didn't know no steps in it, but I could sing all them Frankie Lyman songs. Boy, we was just beating up on them. Meanwhile, everybody's talking about, well, Poogie really could sing. But Poogie, everybody else was pushing me. Hey, it's pushing me. But I said, you know what? Instead of going all this back and forth to these talent shows, I want to go straight to the studio. And I was bent on recording my voice to compare with the rest of the recorded voices. Little Hart used to call me. Little Hart in the Everglows, first group. Then from the Everglows, I went to the Veltones. I'm making up these names as I go now. That was me, Stan Lathan, and Randy, Veltones. Like again, everything had to include Randy. His father was a lawyer. That's where we rehearsed. And I could sing. All he had to do was contact his people from that point. But things don't always go the way you expect. When I heard certain people really making it that could sing, I said, all I got to do is get somebody to help me get to the level where I can just be heard. So I used to go down it was called Sound Plus in Philadelphia. And I used to be on everybody's songs. I was on Patti LaBelle songs, Brooks Odell songs. I was on a lot of songs, just singing background. I figured I could get in touch with somebody, to hear my voice as well. But we would make like $40 a night. That was good money. If you could sing, you come back, and if you could do harmony, then of course they usually send you on home. And so, yes, I had to be a background singer first. And I knew I could sing lead at any given cost. But I never pushed myself like that. I just let what was natural come out. And I let all the other people do the talking about me. And on and on. It went from the Veltone, the Four Guys, the Orphonics, then the Delfonics. I worked at Tony's Barbershop. That's where I met Stan Watson. And of course, Stan was amazed because I didn't have anybody in my chair cutting their hair, but Jerry, my partner, Jerry, he was really good at doing hair, and he would do Stan Watson, but Stan Watson was coming back to get trims just to hear me sing. So one day he told me, hey man, you want to go somewhere with me? And I have to tell it from that point. And of course, we went to Cameo Parkway Studios. I accepted the offer, and I went in with a book like these young guys, they have raps and all that. I had a bunch of songs. And from there, I met Thom Bell, and the rest is history.
His time harmonizing on street corners and singing under the bridge had taught William a valuable lesson. He could sing, really sing. And now it was time to take his talent to the next level.
When I first met Randy, I was sitting on my steps on Media Street. Everybody was going swimming that day. It was a summer day, right? Like I tell you, sometimes I came home on the summer. It was only in Richmond, Virginia. So Randy was sitting, I guess that must have been 11, 10:30. I was sitting on my steps. You know, back in the day, we sitting on our steps, everybody rolling out to the swimming pool except me. Randy said, "Hey, Pooh, you want to go?" I said, "Man, no. Come on, man, I'll pay you away." I said, okay. $3 was a lot of money back then. $3 to go to Kelly's. And anyway, we had a nice time. After that, we went over to Randy's house. Everybody's thirsty. Randy, oh, my crib. We came over Randy's crib. His pop was doing it right. His pop had the money and the stash. He had a big old soda machine downstairs with Coca-Cola written on it, ice in it and everything. He said, "Hey, get a Coke." I have never went in nobody's house and a Coca-Cola machine in it, down the basement, and the basement looked like paradise. Oh, man. But anyway, that's how I met Randy. He's been that way ever since, put him in the group. His brother, Jerry, I can't leave Jerry out. Jerry was our drummer. So I had the whole ball of wax on the legal side. I was smart enough to do that because I was dumb as hell when it came to where my money was going in the music world. At 309 South Broad Street, I'm going upstairs on this little tiny elevator, hook up my songs and my guitar in my hand. And he telling me Thom Bell could help me with my music. First thing he wanted Thom Bell to hear me sing some of the stuff that I was saying. My stuff was like, it like blew his mind. So instantly he got right on top of one of the songs I was singing, "He Don't Really Love You." "He Don't Really Love You, You've Been Untrue." He got right on him and we started doing them. Before you know it, Stan put the dog on record out. Him and Thom Bell started making deals on me. He had a ball.
Now the vision was clear. William Poogie Hart saw exactly what gift he could use to elevate himself above the poverty that plagued his neighborhood. Now, it was just a matter of putting together the right voices and finding a way for their voices to be heard.
Yeah, I was on my way out the door. It was like a signal. So you knew I was going, well, he didn't know, but I was going to write some songs. I'm very creative. Take any idea. Like, remember back in the day when everybody would say, "Oh man, I blew her mind. Oh man, chick, she blew my mind." In fact, they still use it. I said, I'm gonna write a song called "Didn't I Blow Your Mind" this time. Bam, another hit. On and on and on. So, again, like Kenny Gamble said, it's show business. And this is the hit record business that we're in. You can't fall in love with your own music, with your own self, because all the power comes from God. All of it. All the superstars, Michael Jacksons, the Princes, all of them was picked out at grain of sand to do a certain work. Trust me. Else the whole world wouldn't know about that. You talked about the birth of La La, you said that was my biggest hit, if you ask me. Because if I went to China and I said, "Hey, do you know the Delfonics?" Somebody say yeah, somebody say no. I said, "You ever hear a song called La La?" "Oh, La La, yeah, I know about La La." And all the place, La La, the song exceeds the group anyway. So that's why Kenny Gamble used to always tell me, man, when you write hit records, you're in the ball game. So Curtis Mayfield wrote hit records, so did Smokey, so did William Hart.
He had the voices. He had the right connections. Now what William Hart and his group, the Delfonics, needed was the right song. And lo and behold, out of the mouth of babes.
You will see the things I am saying are true, and the way I explain them to you. Listen to me, la 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 la. I love you, oh baby, la 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 la.
The Delfonics had finally tapped into the magic. With the genius of Thom Bell producing and churning out his lush song arrangements, William Hart writing his hit songs, and Stan Watson and his Philly Groove Records pushing the right buttons to deliver the Delfonics music to their hungry fan base, the group not only reached star status, they created their own iconic sound in the process.
Stan Watson. That's what broke us up. Thom Bell ended up again down 309, but this time it was Gamble, Huff, and Bell, them three. And I'm stuck with Stan. There was some singers here. I bust the door wide open, didn't I? Boom! And they still won't put me in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How about that? Violins, strings, I was a part of all that. Big Tiffany drums, a part of all that. Didn't get no credit for it. All of that. The way them songs sound, the melodies and everything. But I had to go through all that to get to where I am today. And hopefully I can make it to tomorrow. If it's God's will. And didn't I blow your mind? It was the same thing, but you know how the first thing you gotta do is go to the bathroom when you come off the street, you know, walk from 52nd and Media all the way, if you know about West Philly, from 52nd and Media all the way to 52nd and Spruce. Right in the corner, there's a good height, man. I had to go to the bathroom. After telling me about Ready or Not, Here I Come, I said, Tommy, I'm in the bathroom. I said, when I come out of here, I'm gonna blow your mind. I came out. And I put my finger on the piano. I said, that's the hook, man. So I don't care about nothing else.
I gave my heart and soul to you, girl. Didn't I do it, baby? Didn't I do it, baby? But this time I'm really leaving you, girl. Oh, hope you know it, baby. Hope you know it, baby. 10 times or more, yes, I walk out the door. Get this thing through your head, there'll be no more. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? I got to leave you, baby. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? I got to leave you, baby. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? I got to leave you, baby. 'Cause I want to say, I've got to tell you what you do to me. Try your best to drive me crazy. But all for the love that I give to you.
And so we go,
Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I?
right now. We wrote that. That was an instant hit. Then La La, then rest was history. Love songs. Yeah, absolute love song, but that anybody can listen to. Mama could listen to it, Papa could listen to it, your babies. A few other song, like you said, it started with me, so that's what I'm saying. I made sure everybody could sing those songs. But everybody buy a record someday. I worked hard on those little things, those little intuition things. I thought about the people that were going to be listening.
The Delfonics, with their new sound, were on top of the charts and on top of the world. To their credit, the group didn't use their fame for their advantage only. Like the men at the candy factory, William Hart showed generosity toward those less fortunate by using the group's star status to help other groups who needed a hand climbing up the mountain.
Oh, yeah, well, how they got on, not all of mine, but several I got them on shows in Philly. I got them on shows in all the shows that we do in Indiana. They'd be there, and all this, not all the shows, but some of the shows we did in Chicago. Chicago was a big thing. The Regal Theater, the Capitol Theater. And I don't know, I just like Michael. Michael reminded me of myself singing all Frankie Lyman songs, he high-pitched singer. And they needed help, and I was trying to give all the help I could get. They sure ran into the right guy, because I was out front, and I knew this boy could sing, and I could give him all the help I could for nothing, not a dime. Oh yeah, they had to. Somebody had stole all their clothes. When they were just, unraveled. They were coming together. And then I went back to Philly. The next thing I know, they would get this guy, I think Diana Ross had run into him by that time. Rest was history.
With their combination of sexy love songs, soaring vocals, dazzling musical arrangements, and trend-setting stage outfits, the Delfonics were setting stages on fire and sending packed audiences into a frenzy everywhere they landed. But as William Hart found out, there's always something more to learn.
You talking about with the OJs? You talking about with Philly Intruders? You talking about Heat Wave? You talking about oh my God! You talking about Joe Tex? You talking about Wilson Pickett, Carmen McRae? Big people. What was the guy who used to scratch his leg all the time? Ray Charles. I think that was one of the last shows that I did with him. But I did this show, big show at the Power Theater with Carmen McRae. We did a show with the Four Tops. And the Four Tops, man, I mean, we thought we were the stuff. And we was working at the Hammersmith Auditorium. I'll never forget it as long as I live. We went on first, right? We blasted them with Lala and didn't I? Yeah, over in England, they like, yeah, I heard it, yeah. Yeah, but they waiting for the Four Tops. We don't know this. We think we that bad Delfonics from Philly. And I said, look, man, I'm gonna stay here because I wanted to get back to the hotel and rest. I said, but I want to see how they do, see how we fared against the guys. Man, when that audience and the Four Tops got finished with us, man, I ran out of that place. I didn't even want to hear the rest. I ran the hell out of there. You know what I mean? And I got back to my hotel room, just shook my head. I said, wow, boy, the experiences you got to go. I mean, you got to have hit records. They was hitting them with sugar pie, honey, busted. We couldn't handle that there. What was the other one they had? The Four Tops. You used to know all these songs. But anyway, we couldn't handle that kind of pressure they was putting on. I know I could. So I got out of it because after they pumped me up so big, we're going to be doing this show at the Hammersmith Auditorium with the Four Tops. Wow, that's big. I said, oh, we're going to blow them old dudes off the stage. Oh, really? Or they blew us up out of there like an atom bomb, I'm telling you.
I had a dime for every time I dreamed about you. Dreamed about you. I'll tell you no joke. Yes, I'm really broke, baby, without you. Girl, without you. And tell me what should I do when you told me that you love me, darling? Are you gonna break your promise, baby? You said that you love me. Promise to me. And now you're acting so strange, baby. Promise, baby. You said that you need me.
Well, just another love song that I wrote, man, to be honest with you. Just another love song. There's no special avenue that I take other than creating a story that will make someone's heart feel more comfortable. A lot of guys were in Vietnam during the time of that song. And Are You Gonna Break Your Promise seemed like the fitting song for that time and era. It's a hell of a lot of pain, I tell you that. I just imagine, you know, man, you over there ducking bullets, now you got to come home and duck her boyfriend. Or be all whacked out, you know. Break Your Promise was definitely timed right. Columbia Records was handling the promotion on it. Stan Watson's little label. Very underrated group on such a small label. But we survived. Somehow we survived. What's this, 2022? It's remarkable in my own mind, you know?
With the Delfonics spinning out hit after hit for several years running, suddenly, a disagreement between Stan Watson and producer Thom Bell over the latter being paid for his contributions to the success of the group threatened to bring the Delfonics rocket ride to the top of the record charts crashing to earth. When Bell took his talents out the door to produce some of the greatest songs in R&B history for the Stylistics and the Spinners, it put even more pressure on William Hart as a songwriter to continue writing hits for the Delfonics.
I'm young and all I can remember is Curtis Mayfield putting them songs together, using his voice to put out there how he sounds. I said, I'm gonna do that. Everybody said I sound good. And I ain't gonna lie, I knew I sounded good. And I knew I could do this thing called singing. So it's a heck of a competition thing here. One of my main influences, him and Smokey Robinson. One of my main influences. Let me see. See, my idea of writing songs all falls basically to one category, and that's finding the real stories in life, finding a good hook that everybody's familiar with but never heard it in a song, and putting it together. How did I watch my older brother fiddle with the guitar, and then I watched real good guitar players' fingers. And Roland Chambers, who's an excellent player on all Philadelphia International songs. Roland said, man, remember one thing, your hands gotta move like a spider crawling up and down. It has to be like that. So I'm faking how it feels. And before you know it, I was hitting notes because I'm faking how a spider would crawl. He said, that's all you gotta do. He said, and you'll be playing that thing like you've been playing for all the years. And people hear me play, it blows their mind. It's like anything else. It's because the people who Thom Bell began to record used my feeling in those songs. This is why you could hear people like stylists that think it's the Delfonics, and Blue Magic that think it's the Delfonics. Pay none of that no mind, because I guess, you know, that's a compliment. Well, after that, I immediately hired me a new arranger. He was Joe Texas producer. We used to call him Bones. So I said, I got a song I want you to arrange for me, man. And I came out with For the Love I Give to You.
And I can't say for myself that I've been good, but are you gonna love me? You're gonna need me, gonna wanna hold me, baby, baby, and squeeze me for the love that I give to you.
That's what kept our balance. Bam, that song was there. See, wasn't no serious gap or nothing. When I dropped For the Love I Give to You on him, it was just like, la, just another time, okay, or did not. And that's basically what happened. I got, and you know, when the split up took place, I got a guy named Bones, handled that real good.
The Delfonics not only had to survive the loss of their immensely gifted producer Thom Bell, but also the departure of original member Randy Kane. The loss of Kane could have brought the Delfonics' success to a devastating end, if not for the entrance of Major Harris.
Major Harris was with a group called Nat Turner's Rebellion. And my manager, he managed that group, right? We both were working at the Uptown Theater one time, right? And I stand, you know how you stand in the wings and watch the show from the wings. And I was watching Major Harris step. I said, this guy steps just like us. I said, he got that same damn swagger. I said, wow, you know, because Randy was coming in and out of the group. We barely made that show that day, you know. So I when we got back in from the show, went over to 52nd and Spruce, met with the rest of the groups. I asked Major, I said, look, man, I said, I never seen a guy with the same kind of swag that we had, me and my brother, you know. And he said, I tried, man. He learned them steps. Bing, 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 bing. Smooth, his posture, his manner was exactly what you wanted from the Delfonics, man. And I said, this is a perfect, he was actually a perfect match. If you look at some of the pictures with me, Wilbur, and Randy, cool, we were very cool. Me, Wilbur, and Randy with Major, yeah. That was the tightest Delfonics group there is.
Having made some of the most classic love songs of all time that countless thousands fell in love to, it would be unthinkable to believe the writer of many of these songs, William Hart, would not find love for himself.
At the telethon, Joey Bishop telethon, downtown at the Academy of Music. And Randy ran up to the dressing room, told me, say, Pooj, come here. He called me Pooj. I found just a girl for you, man. I said, what? I said, I need one. Because I guess back in the day, we were
looking for wives. I'm telling you. And well, Randy grabbed me by my coat, and I will never forget. Okay, come on, man, come on. I'm backstage now. I'm looking. He said, "Look over there." So I'm looking at the women that be on the telephones, and this particular one was so pretty. I said, "Oh man, she ain't gonna say nothing to me." You know, she ain't nowhere near interested in me. So near the end of the show, needless to say, didn't she come up to me and ask me for my autograph? I said, "Oh no, you didn't ask me for my autograph." You to myself, you know. I said, "Not you." You know, I said, "Can I have your autograph?" That's how I said, she was a star to me, you know. And where was I going? I was going somewhere up in Ohio that night after the Joey Bishop telethon. We got in our vans and stuff, driving to Ohio. I said, "Call you as soon as I get to my next destination, next show." Yeah, I called as soon as I got there, you know. And we talked all through the rest of the night into the next morning.
He didn't know it, but the woman William Hart met that night would end up being his wife for life. Back in the day, the Delfonics were known not only for their smooth and soaring vocals, but also for two other distinct traits: their swag fashion and their smooth choreography.
That attitude mentality that we had on stage. So we had to have something to look, you know, look the part of the way we moved. And we knew it didn't fit what the ordinary guys was wearing, you know, Harold Melvin, basically he was wearing tuxedos, et cetera, regular, you know, outfits, bow tie. But we wanted Matador outfits and all that kind of stuff. I even still got some now. I certainly do. Yeah, I have some now. And I'm going to start the new Delfonics out wearing this type of stuff. You know, that's what I wanted on that damn stage. I ain't want you to mistake me for nothing, you know, but a cool dude, posture. And like my partner called me up one time and said, he said, "You know, William, when I used to watch y'all walk out on stage, you walked out with so much confidence." And you know, funny how people can read your body language. And of course, you have to have that confidence, embedded in yourself when you walk out there, man, because it's a beautiful thing to please people, man, to see them smiling. And it's not an arrogant posture, but it's a posture that's, don't worry, it's real man in front of you right now, damn it, singing. A lot of movies with the matadors, you know, the bullfighting, you probably seen them when you were younger, the bullfighting, and the person, the matador, his demeanor captured my eyes. That's the attitude we want to have. We want a posture of flowing, like, you know, like a matador. You know, we didn't want to. We didn't want to fail. We didn't want to fail people in any way. Let's put it that way. The matador is a bad dude, man, and he dressed real slick, you know. Oh man, night after night. And after we get finished watching those matador films, night after night, then we would add, you know, our style of dancing to it, and then with the matador mixture, every night at 7:30, either at my house or Randy's house. Remember I told you about Randy's house down the basement where the Coca-Cola machine was still there too, you know. But every night we just worked on them steps, worked on our posture, worked on the steps. We are the Delfonics. We're the world's greatest. We not in an arrogant way, but in a good way.
When you make timeless music, it's only a matter of time before new generations discover you. But that discovery may not always go down so smooth.
We talked about the episode with the mighty Wu-Tang Clan, and they had came down to Philly and got a hotel room down on Market Street somewhere. And we went down to visit them and all, and I think it was me and Major and Randy. We went on down to see him, you know. So they asked us would we come and lay some tracks for them on this particular song they were putting together. They didn't have no words for it. They didn't have nothing. So I said, okay, I'm a creative type of dude. I'll help them with the song. Needless to say, on the way to the show, man. Now here we are. We makes it to Staten Island. It comes across with me in Staten Island. This is when the bullets started flying. Pow, 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 pow. And Randy looked and said, what's going on? Major said, damn, I don't know. So he jumped in the back of the van and everything. And I think it was Ghostface. Ghostface, he reached out the window with the gun, pow, 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 shooting at somebody. I said, damn, who y'all shoot that? What is going on, you know? And then and Major talking about, well, I'm glad I brought my knife. And it's like this Ghostface said, he the brother from Philly. Them niggas so tough, he wanted to fight with a knife. You know, I said, well, Philly figure niggas, we supposed to be tough, you know? And Philly brothers, I won't say niggas. But that's the language they use, you know? But anyway, when we got to the studio, I'm still looking around. I'm nervous and shaking because I ain't never experienced anything like that. Going to record, do anything. I didn't know recording in those days involved getting shot at on the way to the studio. And man, then when they got there, right, they started unloading pistols. Boom, boom, boom. Put them in the air. Unload your guns right over at the door. I said, whoa. When we coming up on, by the way, I'm dashing between what really happened. Before that, we were on the elevator and I started asking them questions. I said, man, how long do y'all expect to live? And one of the young bucks said, I don't know if it was Ghostface, whatever, I'm gonna live till about I'm 25. I said, that ain't no time to live, man. You know? I said, just put them guns down and let's do this music. You know what I mean? I'm in their nerves. I'm really trying to keep the peace because I don't want the guns firing off in there while I'm in the booth singing, you know? Anyway, we finally got in. And the RZA, I remember the RZA, he had a little machine. It was amazing to come up with the root of a group like the Wu-Tang Clan. And there's always a root story, you know, like this, you know, that makes them and it also makes us. So I got in the booth and he put his track on. Dun, 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 dun. Right away, it came to my head, you know, after the smoke is clear, Delfonics and Wu-Tang still here. Dun, 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 dun. I said, that's what we're going to use. I said, that's what we'll use. We use, after the smoke is clear, Delfonics and Wu-Tang still here. Then after the smoking gun, Delfonics and Wu-Tang #1. Down, 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 down. And that's it. And that was basically all the way through the song. And it really came out pretty good. It's on the album Iron Man, in case, you know, anybody would buy it, you know. It was a shootout and a half, man. I'm telling you, really shooting out now. You was in that van, you would have known what I'm talking about. We pulled over to the side and let them go ahead. Boom, and my heart beating off fast. I said, what the hell is it? Then they came back. Come on, oh yeah, everything's all right. They came back. They must have seen us pull off the side of the road. And I don't know how they came back and found out exactly where we were, but they did. They came back, found out where we were, probably assumed we pulled over on that flat or whatever. Come on, old head. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. And we we ain't in no trouble. Blah, 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 blah. I was ready to hit 95. I said, man, look, I stopped thinking about music and everything. I said, mate, I'm hearing him, but I'm not hearing him, right? I said, which way is 95, man? What the hell way is 95? Because I wanted to get on 95 and come on back into Philly. I really did. I said, and he said, come on, old head, it's all right. So ended up in the studio cutting that song. And the rest is history.
I'm from a place where fish was made. Corduroy Valley, sporting those Rakim caves. Rakim came. High self-esteem promised me a moment in life just to wreck y'all lames. Throw the tech to your brain, putting the best to shame. This is Theodore, best to tuck those Dana Danes. See me coming.
If the measure of greatness is standing the test of time, the Delfonics have passed that test with flying colors. Not only because their songs like La La Means I Love You and Did Not Blow Your Mind This Time are still heard and loved today, but also because their music is now forever woven into pop culture through movies and gaming.
Thanks.
You never got into the whole CD revolution?
Oh, I got a few, but I can't afford to start all over again. I mean, I've invested too much time and money in my albums.
Yeah, but you can't get new stuff on records.
I don't get new stuff that often.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this?
The Delfonics.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
They all had their own different style, but it was all one swagger that we were looking for. And we had it. We worked on it night after night after night. And basically, that's when you say, what did they have bring to the, they would, I don't know what you could say. I don't know what you would say. And in regards to them having, just the style that fit the songs that, there's a lot of the guys that were with me, they were too old, couldn't step or sing, really. I could basically cover for a lot of guys that couldn't sing. And Randy was one of the cases, Major already knew, my brother knew how to sing. So everybody brought something to the table that was worth something that would definitely make people remember the Delfonics, especially after we did the Apollo Theater and all the big theaters when they saw us in person. And it's just like the Temptations. I mean, it's guys in the Temptations, right? You can't name them all. You see, what you can name is Eddie and David. See, you're forced to try to fit them in somewhere.
William Hart, Wilbert Hart, Randy Kane, and Major Harris have used their harmonies, voices, and immense talent to write their names into music history, blending their voices and efforts together to make music that is now and will always be timeless.
Main achievement. Finally knowing who I was. Through all of the talent, through all of the glory, how great someone might think you are. I just learned thoroughly, none of us is greater than God. I can't talk about myself and what I know God gave me as if I up and did it myself. All those around you, very close to you, brother, sister, mother, don't matter. He picked you, or take this one. And this one here gonna do well enough to take care of the whole family, And But once you start thinking it's you, leaving God out of the equation, oh, that's the wrong. That's crazy. And so, but what make a person think they can't be cool, suave, have the swagger, but put God up front, man? You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't no square. People, they say God, they get, you ain't no square because you say that. You calling on the man who got all the damn power. You understand? So that's what I do with my music. That's what I pray for with my contacts, people like yourself who I'm so proud to meet. And I thank God every day as he set the angels around me that I need to make William Hart known really to the world as a human being. Yeah, as a human being.
For all his talent, William Poogie Hart still knows and acknowledges that his gifts can never be greater than the giver.
Ready or not, here I come. For the love I give to you, I tried over and over again. Are you gonna break your promise? Baby, I miss you. Trying to make a fool of me. Remember, I'll get mine.